Hey you, it's me, and if you're here, it means you probably like historical fiction, which is fantastic because today I am recommending 3 historical fiction novels that you absolutely have to read. First things first, let's start off with the question of the day. Do you like historical fiction, yes or no? And if you do, then let me know in the comments down below what the title of your favorite historical fiction book is, and then I can make a list and check them out, and it'll be awesome. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the recommendations. The first book that I'm going to recommend is And Only to Deceive by Tasha Alexander. Now, Tasha Alexander is an amazing writer. This is actually the first book in a series, I believe. I've only ever read the first book. I haven't had a chance to catch up on the series yet, but I'm really hoping to because I love the writing. I love all the characters that we were introduced to, and I loved how forward-thinking most of them were, and then but also maintaining that historical element. In And Only to Deceive, there is a woman named Emily who has agreed to wed the Viscount Ashton, Philip. But Philip actually dies while on a safari soon after they are married, and she finds that she doesn't feel much about his loss because she doesn't really know him. But as she moves into his house and starts going through his things, she learns more and more about this man who was going to be her husband and realizes that she probably could have loved him all along. She finds that one of his personal hobbies had to do with antiques in the British Museum, and she falls into this mystery of stolen antiques from the British Museum and stolen treasures, and she starts to believe that maybe her husband's death was more than it seemed, as well as there are 2 new suitors who she doesn't really trust because they have so conveniently appeared after her husband's death, and they both seem to know more than they're letting on to. Either way, it's a fantastic book. I highly recommend you read it. I love reading Emily as a character. I love seeing her journey and kind of as she finds herself, and as she does move through this grieving process for someone she didn't really know but would like to have gotten to know, and moves forward in her life. So if you guys have not yet read And Only to Deceive, then I highly recommend that you do so because it's amazing and it's such a fantastic book. Second recommendation I'm giving you is book 1 of a series as well. And this book falls more into the category of historical fantasy, but it pulls a lot of elements from mythology and history and culture, and that is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. Okay, this book is so good. I let my friend borrow this book, no names being given, but I let them borrow this book and then I didn't have it for about a year, so I never got to read it. And I finally got it back, and I'm very excited because I was able to read not only The Bear and the Nightingale, but also The Girl in Tower, and both of these books are fantastic. I cannot wait for the 3rd book in the series. It has to do with Vasya and how she's kind of grown up as a wild child who has this supernatural connection to the forest, a lot of these unseen creatures that live near her town, and how their lives kind of are thrown into turmoil when this preacher comes into town and tries to convert them into the new religion. It pulls so much from different historical elements, and it refers to a lot of different things in history that were happening kind of at the time that we could almost recognize. There definitely are a lot of fantastical elements, definitely a lot is kind of made up at the time, made up to fit the narrative, but it does pull so much from history that it makes it really enjoyable to read, and it makes you curious about more Russian mythology and culture and where the ideas from this book, where the idea for this book came from. Now, the final book that I'm recommending is one that I just mentioned in a book haul I had recently, and that is The Invention of Wings by Sue Monk Kidd. Now, this book was actually inspired by the historical figure of Sarah Grimke, and it's loosely based off of the events that happened around her. This book has 2 main characters. There is Sarah, and then there is Handful, who is an urban slave. And this is set in early 19th century Charleston. So this book definitely takes a lot of themes from that time period with slavery and women's rights. You can see both sides in each of the story that they're being shared. Handful is a slave that's given to Sarah on her 11th birthday. They are a year apart in age, and it kind of follows their journey from childhood into adulthood as they struggle with with the past that life has given to them and what is expected from them and what they really want to happen in their future. I know that there's a lot of books that take place in like the early 19th century, but I feel like this one takes those themes and of course incorporates them in a creative way. And Sue Monk Kidd is an amazing writer. I love The Secret Life of Bees, so if you guys like The Secret Life of Bees, you'll probably like this one too, because this has a lot of the same elements that we saw there. And it's such a pretty cover too. I really love basically everything about it. And this is my third and final recommendation for this video. With that being said, I would love to know your opinion. Do you have any historical books that you have read that you think I should have mentioned, or do you want to let everyone else know about them? Let me know in the comments down below. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot. If you like any of these books, then make sure you check out the links in the description. It'll lead you to Amazon where you can buy them if you want. If you want to support a smaller creator, then I have a link where you can get a free 30-day trial of Audible. And not only do you get that trial for free, they also include your very first book in that trial period as well, and it's an amazing service. I absolutely love Audible. I use it all the time, especially because 1, I drive a lot for my job right now, and 2, I travel a lot, and so it's easy to kind of take those on the go without taking gigantic piles of books with me everywhere. But yeah, other than that, that's all I have for you today. If you like let me know if you like historical fiction, if you don't like historical fiction, and if you do like historical fiction, then leave some title recommendations down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and see what other books I should check out. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, then make sure you do. I upload bookish videos twice a week, as well as reaction videos whenever something cool comes out that I want to react to. But for now, that's all I have for you today, so thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.